You're listening to Health Professional Radio. My name is Wayne Buckler. Today my guest in studio is Stephen Eddey, the Principal of Health Schools Australia. Stephen joins us from Queensland in Australia. Stephen, welcome to Health Professional Radio.
Thank you, Wayne. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, Stephen, I understand that man flu is upon us.
Yes, it is. Man flu is upon us. It's I'm going to be booed here, but the flu does affect men pretty badly and women as well. There was a contentious article written many years ago about how the flu affects men worse, but I don't want to go into there. I just want to say, let's talk about man flu.
Now, if you ever get round to doing research on man flu, ring me up because I am a very badly affected man when it comes to man flu. I just have to lay around for days and days and days and have other people bring me cups of hot chicken soup.
And you've made a very important distinction between flu and cold. There's the influenza virus, which is the one where you're laid up for days and days and days, and there's the cold that you got the runny nose, the sore throat, but you're going to work and you're still spreading the love with the infection to everyone else. So there's the two different types of infections that we've really got to combat this winter. So,
Stephen, tell us now about this winter because I understand it's the cold and flu season. Make the distinction for us and tell us what's happening.
Sure. A cold and flu season is usually accompanied by winter because winter, lots of things happen to humans in winter. The cold weather can suppress the immune system. That's the first thing. But the second thing is we live our lives differently. In other words, we don't go and get a lot of vitamin D from the sun. We tend to close the windows and everyone's trapped. We've got air conditioning which circulates microbugs and all this sort of stuff. So we are more prone to colds and flus during the winter for these very reasons.
Now, that business of air conditioning recirculating things, is that why I end up with a cold every time I fly?
Yeah. Well, when you fly, you sit, very close to a lot of other people for a long period of time, hours. Even last night I flew in from Sydney, and that was an hour and a half, and that was, long enough to be exposed to whatever was on the plane. So, you can't avoid that. I sat next to a gentleman, and that was it. That was my ticket. There's no way out of it. The only thing we can do ourselves to protect against this is to boost our own immune systems.
Now, I understand that there's some research around that deals with how you go about doing that. Tell us about that.
Exactly. One of the great products for boosting our own immune system is Convita's freshly picked olive leaf extract, and that's a wonderful, powerful agent, and it's very powerful. It's actually 400 times more, it has more antioxidant power than vitamin C, so it's 400% higher than vitamin C, which is absolutely very, very powerful. And this herb has been traditionally used in Western herbal medicine for years to support the immune system. And what the immune system does, of course, is it's those little white cells that kill the viruses and bacteria that invade our body and make us sick and give us the man flu.
Now, lots of our audience are clinicians, both doctors and nurses.
Yes.
Explain to them what the research has done in I guess a more technical layer for those people who have got a good understanding of the immune system.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think about olive trees, their leaves have very powerful defense mechanisms that enable them to fight incredibly well for resistance of infectious bugs that may attack them when they're plants from pests, for example, and drought. And what they've found using what we call HPLC, or in other words, scientific analysis at some of the universities in Australia, Southern Cross Uni, where I did my master's actually, they actually have found that there are clear components in this Convita's olive leaf extract that have immune-boosting properties. And when you boost the immune system, of course, that fights all sorts of things. That fights viruses, bacteria, fungi, those sorts of infections. So it has a very broad action on the body. And the beautiful thing, when you compare this against, say, like an antibiotic specifically kills, in this case, bacteria. But when you boost the immune system is a living organism that can adapt and grow in different areas and adapt to certain infections. So it's a very, very effective way at preventing and treating colds and flus.
I see. And this is translational research, I guess, rather than anything else, where this compound has been identified and found to be useful in this circumstance.
Exactly. There's a lot of the great thing about this particular agent, the olive leaf extract, is that yes, it's been traditionally used for centuries to boost the immune system and to get rid of infections, but science has also tested and said, actually there is a lot of compounds in this, polyphenolic compounds, which are powerful antioxidants which boost the immune system. So we've got the best of both worlds there. We're using modern science and traditional medicine, which is what I love, the both of them combined, to actually help boost the immune system.
Now, this I presume is something that you don't have to go out and chew a handful of freshly picked olive leaves as a compound for this, I imagine?
It is, and that's why Convita's olive leaf extract is particularly good, because they pick it, and ironically, there's a really good story to this. They actually pick it first thing in the morning at sunrise, and it's bottled by lunchtime, and that captures the broad spectrum of naturally occurring compounds. And by capturing those compounds, they actually also bottle it and flavour it, so it actually tastes quite good. I take olive leaf extract, and it tastes, it's pleasant to take. You don't go out there and munch leaves. So, of course you can if you want, but I'd rather people have a nice, tasty medicine.
It brought to mind then pictures of Mediterranean olive groves with the goats munching on the trees. They never get the flu. They're always healthy, so maybe that's where the answer is.
I've never seen a goat with a thermometer out of its mouth.
That's true. I'm very pleased that both of us have a better understanding of research than this.
Exactly.
If you've just joined us, you've been listening to Health Professional Radio. We've been having a conversation about olive leaf extract and man flu with Stephen Eddey. Stephen Eddey is the principal of Health Schools Australia and joins us this morning to talk about boosting immune systems with olive leaf extract. Now, what would you say to the cynics out there, Stephen, who are saying, yes, but you can't beat a couple of 100 milligrams of, erythromycin or something?
Yeah, well, erythromycin is like any antibiotic. It doesn't kill bacteria. And if we're talking about flu is abbreviated for influenza virus, which means it's a virus. So any antibiotic in the world can't treat viruses. The only thing that can kill viruses, well, the best thing to kill viruses, there's some antivirals out there, of course, but particularly flu, there's no treatment for flu, is to boost the immune system. And the immune system then goes out and does all the heavy lifting for you, and that can kill viruses because it boosts parts of the immune system called macrophages, which engulf, virally infected cells and kill them. So that's why, erythromycin and all those other antibiotics aren't useful when you've got a flu. And doctors know this, and doctors don't prescribe antibiotics for colds and flus anymore because of this very reason.
So the season is upon us, and rather than go and harass your doctor, or if you are a doctor, rather than reaching for the antibiotic bottle, which, won't do you any good for a virus, olive leaf extract from, I guess, health food shops and pharmacies?
Absolutely. The one that's freshly picked is the one you got to go for, and there's a brand called Convita, which is a great brand that has, they pick it in the morning, it's bottled by lunchtime, it's very fresh, and that's what I love about that particular product. So it's very good, and it boosts the immune system. So if you've got sort of any sorts of infections, this can be very helpful.
And if you are listening to us this morning and you are a man and you are suffering from man flu, do remember for next year, olive leaf extract well before the season starts.
Absolutely. Prevention's better than cure.
Steve, it's been a pleasure having you with us on Health Professional Radio. We'll have a transcript of this story on our website and also an archive in both SoundCloud and on YouTube. This is Health Professional Radio. My name is Wayne Buckler.